MTN is what we would call a belief-driven organization. And our core belief is that everybody deserves the benefits of a modern, connected life. And the vision is to lead the delivery of this bold new digital world. So the word lead is very important in that dynamic because MTN, we operate across 17 countries in Africa, another 4 in the Middle East. We are most often the number 1 or number 2 operator in these markets. And the scale of our business allows us to invest over $2 billion per year in capital expenditure. So we really have a responsibility to lead. And that responsibility to lead is in pushing out connectivity, particularly into rural areas, which is where the really disadvantaged of our markets are, to focus on job creation, to focus on gender equality, to focus on infrastructure, to focus on climate change in terms of how we run our operations. So we see this as very much a core part of what we do. And I do think the world today needs large companies and even business leaders basically to take a position, to take a stand. And we want to stand for businesses that adopt a shared value approach, that worry about the problems in the world, and use their scale and infrastructure to tackle them in a way that sometimes only really large-scale private sector companies can do. Global warming really is a shared challenge, a shared responsibility. Mobile industry generally is not a large producer of greenhouse gases. It's interesting that we contribute around 5% to the world GDP, but only about 0.4% to emissions. And actually in many parts of our industry, we can make a major impact to reduce the emissions of other players, particularly through our technologies. I think it's very important for a company like MTN to do the least harm, to operate responsibly, to make sure that we're playing our part in tackling this scourge of climate change. So we looked where we operate our own network. There's a big focus on energy efficient equipment, renewable energy, particularly solar. The mobile industry was one of the first industries to adopt the SDGs. And it's because connectivity is such an important underlying driver of delivering on the SDGs. For MTN, we are really focusing now on a third dimension. And the third dimension is how is the core business actually creating a positive impact on the world and our economies and our societies.